One of the things about education that always kept me from getting into it was because I was always thinking, you know, system is rigged and school to prison pipeline. I was always thinking about all those things, and I just didn't want to be a part of that. And I felt like, in being uneducated about education, I just felt like, you know, we all went to school and we know what they're teaching, and I just felt like it was redundant at the same time. So when I actually decided that I was going to do it, it was mostly because the students at the school that I was being a secretary at, they would ask me questions and ask me for help and all these different, you know, I'm like, your teacher is right over there. Like, why are you asking me? But it was because they felt a connection with me and they wanted to be around me and they wanted, you know, to talk to me and those things. And so I was kind of just like, you know what, I could probably have this impact on a lot of kids rather than the 3 or 4 that come to me every day just to, like, hi, Miss Jackson, you know. So I think with that, it was kind of working with white people in a predominantly Black school. I feel a different connection to them than they do. You know, I see them stress, but I don't think it's stress about the job or stress about the kids. I think it's more so about the job, whereas I feel like when I go home, I'm always thinking about the personal things that the kids are going through. Out of all the teachers in Ohio, only 5% are Black. Let's just put that out there. Statistics for you. But only 5% are Black. And I know even for me, people are like, well, when was your first Black teacher? And my first Black teachers were the art teacher, were the music teacher. It was the creative stuff. It wasn't math and science. And so I didn't see that until I got to high school for the most part. And then I went to college, and that was a culture shock because I went to Black schools my whole life, and then I get to a white college and I'm like, you know, the slow kid, for a lack of better words, because that's how they treat you and those are the things that they say about you. So I feel like being a Black woman and being an educator in this time is the most important because, like I mentioned before, I see the disconnects with the other teachers. I listen to the things that they say about the kids and how they're frustrated about not being able to connect with them. And then I'm over here like, they just told me just 2 days ago that why they couldn't do something or why, you know, and I'm like, well, why can't you talk to them the same way? But I know why. So at the same time, I don't want to come off, you know, it's like, oh, I'm going to connect with all the scholars, because that's not the honest truth. But I do notice that because I look like them and because, you know, I might not be so, you know, I talk slang a lot, you know, I still live on the South Side. And you know, I still am myself, you know, and I think that they like that because they have this mindset like, well, Miss Jackson doesn't play, but they can still come and talk to me, which is exactly what I wanted to give, you know, that's how I am in general. So I feel like being a Black woman in this space is just so important just because they need people that look like them telling them that they can go to college or they can be whatever they want. It's great that the white people are telling them that, but I feel like when you come from a certain environment where you don't see a certain thing, you know, you don't see college and then you see someone that looks like you and they're like, oh, you did go to college and you studied abroad and you're in a sorority. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all of these things that I'm showing you that you can also be. The biggest surprise in the last year has been how fast like my career is moving. You know, I feel like people were like, oh, you turned 30 and then everything's gonna get a little better. And then it's like, I turned 30 and things are getting a little better. And I'm like, wow, it wasn't a lie. So, so it's one of those things for me. There's all these things that have literally put me in the place to evolve into the educator that I always thought I could be or that I wanted to be, and I'm doing it. And I like it. It's fun. It has its days, of course, just like anything else, but like I said, I think about the kids. They think about me, you know, and just the little things that the other teachers have told me that the kids have said to them about me. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, you know, I'm just like, wow, the student that never talks has so much to say about me, you know, positive things at that. So I think it's just what surprised me the most is just how in such a terrible state of the world is have all these positive things that are going on.